Okay, just let me roll my shoulders back for a second, Maya.
What is going on with you today, Leo? You look like you're about to sit for a polygraph test.
I am just practicing the physiological reset. You know that specific feeling right before you step into a corporate boardroom for an interview? Your hands are slightly cold, your stomach feels a bit uneasy, and you are frantically repeating your past achievements over and over in your head.
The classic pre-interview jitters. But first, let's welcome our listeners to the best English learning podcast of the internet. Well, what you describe, Leo, is an almost universal human experience. It doesn't matter if you have 5 years of experience or 20. The moment you are the one being evaluated, your caveman brain treats the situation like a life or death crisis.
And if you are doing that interview in a second language like English, the stress multiplies by 10. You aren't just worried about your career history. You're worried about your prepositions, your vocabulary, and your accent.
But here is the secret we want to focus on today. Confidence in an interview does not come from knowing every single English word perfectly. Confidence comes from your mindset. It comes from changing the entire framework of the meeting before you even open your mouth.
Today, we are breaking down how to stop acting like a nervous student begging for a job, and how to start acting like an equal partner offering a high-value solution. No complex grammatical lectures today. Just practical, psychological tools to make you sound cool, collected, and completely capable.
Let's look at the biggest mistake intermediate and advanced professionals make. I call it the interrogation trap.
That sounds terrifying. What exactly is it?
It's when a candidate visualizes the interview like a police interrogation. The interviewer is the detective under a bright light, throwing hard questions, and the candidate is the suspect, desperately trying to give the correct answer to avoid getting caught.
This mindset completely ruins your communication. When you feel interrogated, your answers become short, defensive, and mechanical. You become invisible.
Exactly. An interview is not an interrogation. It is a two-way street. It is a mutual conversation between two business entities trying to see if there is strategic alignment. They have a specific business problem, and they are trying to see if your skill set is the right key to open that lock.
To shift your perspective away from this trap immediately, follow our simple 3-step blueprint before your next meeting. The level pegging mindset. Step 1. Remind yourself that you are an equal professional in the room. They aren't doing you a favor by interviewing you. You are offering valuable time and skills that their business desperately needs.
The value proposition focus. Step 2. Shift your internal focus away from your grammar mistakes and anchor it to your core value. Your primary objective is to showcase how your experience can solve their current pain points.
The active evaluation shift. Step 3. Remember that you are also interviewing them. Use your energy to observe their corporate culture, their leadership style, and whether this environment actually deserves your talent.
When you walk into the room with this framework, your posture shifts. Your voice stabilizes. You stop sounding like a candidate who is trying to survive, and you start sounding like a consultant who is ready to execute.
Now, Let's look at a major tactical challenge. You are in the middle of the interview. Things are going beautifully. And suddenly, the hiring manager asks a complex, multi-layered question that your brain did not prepare for.
Oh, the dreaded mental blackout. Your internal translator crashes and you hit a wall of panic.
Most nervous candidates try to bridge this sudden silence by making unnatural sounds. They say, well, or even worse, they start speaking immediately without thinking, creating a disorganized sentence that makes them sound chaotic.
Confident professionals do something completely different. They embrace the silence. They use the power of pausing. A native executive is never afraid of a 3-second silence. Silence signals control. It tells the interviewer that you are a serious person who reflects deeply before delivering a strategic answer.
But to make that silence look elegant, you need a set of simple, professional phrases to buy time while your brain gathers the necessary English vocabulary.
Let's look at 3 premium examples you can use effortlessly. That is a highly relevant question. Let me take a brief moment to reflect on that. I appreciate that question. Let me organize my thoughts for a second to give you the best overview. That's a great point. I want to ensure I provide an accurate example, so let me consider that for a moment.
Look at the massive difference here. You haven't changed your English level. You've just used a professional linguistic cushion. The interviewer isn't sitting there thinking, oh, their English is slow. They are thinking, wow, this person is incredibly composed under pressure.
Let's talk about the most hated question in corporate history. What is your greatest weakness?
Every time I hear that question, I roll my eyes internally. It feels like a trap designed to make you fail.
It only feels like a trap if you don't understand the psychological intent behind it. The interviewer doesn't actually care about your technical flaws. They aren't looking for absolute perfection. What they are evaluating is your level of self-awareness and your growth mindset.
A nervous candidate tries to bypass this question by using a fake weakness that sounds like an arrogant compliment. They say, my weakness is that I work too hard, or I'm a perfectionist.
Interviewers can spot that fake answer from a mile away, and it instantly destroys your credibility. It sounds calculated and insincere.
The confident approach is to share a genuine, non-critical professional weakness, but immediately pivot the conversation to focus on your active strategy for self-improvement. You frame the weakness as a project you are currently managing.
Let's look at a clear formula for this. Identify a past limitation plus explain your current solution plus showcase the positive result.
Let's demonstrate this with a quick role play. Maya, ask me about my weakness using a typical management scenario.
Leo, looking over your career history, what would you say is an area where you currently struggle?
Earlier in my career, I found it difficult to delegate technical tasks to my team because I wanted to ensure everything was flawless. However, I realized this was creating a bottleneck. To fix this, I implemented an automated project management tracker last year. This approach allowed me to maintain complete visibility over our deliverables while giving my team the autonomy they needed to succeed.
Look at that execution. Leo acknowledged a real corporate challenge, but the entire narrative arc of his answer focused on leadership, software implementation, and strategic growth. He turned a vulnerability into a showcase of competence.
Let's enter the vocabulary lab to lock down 12 essential business English words and phrases we utilize today to build interview confidence. Pre-interview jitters. The natural feeling of nervousness, anxiety, or excitement before an important career evaluation. Mindset. A set of deeply rooted beliefs and mental attitudes that determine how you interpret and react to situations. Interrogation. A harsh, one-sided questioning process typical of a legal or authoritative investigation. Two-way street. A process or situation involving mutual cooperation, equal participation, and shared evaluation between two parties. Alignment. A state of agreement or correct positioning relative to a company's strategic goals or values. Value proposition. A clear statement summarizing why an organization or individual is uniquely qualified to deliver value and solve a specific problem. Asset. A valuable person, skill, or quality that brings long-term utility and success to an organization. To buy time. A tactical phrase, meaning to delay an action or conversation strategically to gain more time to think or prepare. Linguistic cushion. A professional phrase used to soften an impact, acknowledge a point, or smooth out a transition during speech. Self-awareness. The conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, strengths, and limitations. To pivot. To quickly change direction, strategy, or the focus of a conversation to achieve a more favorable outcome. Autonomy. The freedom and authority granted to an employee to manage their own work and make independent decisions.
To finish our masterclass, let's train your vocal cords to project authority. Listen to my pace, mimic the calm confidence in my tone, and repeat these two high-stakes executive phrases out loud. Phrase number 1, buying time with absolute poise. That is a highly relevant question. Let me take a brief moment to reflect on that.
Phrase number 2, establishing your corporate value framework. An interview is a two-way street designed to evaluate mutual strategic alignment.
Brilliant delivery. Remember, the company isn't just grading your past, they are buying your future value. Walk into your next interview knowing your worth.
If this episode helped clear your mind and gave you a toolkit for your next big career step, subscribe and share it with a colleague who is preparing for an interview.
Keep your posture tall, your pauses intentional, and your mindset sharp. See you in the next masterclass. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone, and take care.